Good afternoon, Dr. Hu.
Good afternoon.
Thank you. Thank you for accepting my invitation. That was last semester. And thank you because we've been exchanging emails. Thank you for the beautiful presentation that you gave in that moment in the conference. But thank you so much for your patience, for taking time for us. So this is some of the music majors at Benedict College. We have here freshmen, sophomore, third year juniors and seniors. And also our music director is, and Dr. Hutchins, our music director is here. And these are, this is our class.
Hello, everyone.
And we are in the choir room. So again, thank you so much for being here with us. And this is all yours.
Thank you for having us. Thank you. Actually, I back to the Columbia, South Carolina every weekend, and my wife working on the University of South Carolina. So I know this college well. Every time I went to the Whole Food and just crossed the Benedict College.
That's phenomenal.
Okay, let me open this one. So everyone can see this PowerPoint, right?
Yes, sir.
Great. Okay, thanks again. It's my great honor to have my student and representing the Clark Atlanta University, and here to share our experience. It's just like in past in March, yeah, right. So for MTA 2024, so the boy is Cameron Barnes and my another student Kennedy Smith. Yeah, so we have another student, but she couldn't show up. So and we're representing this title. So it's great honor to having my students showing to this national stage and showcase our academic experience and the career perspective for HBCU. Okay. Actually, I really want to mention we have two predecessors at Clark Atlanta University has been recognized during this conference is Mark Boulder. So he is my prior professor in this position and who received MTNA Advocacy Award. And that highlights his significant contribution and teaching professions. And another is the composer, Florence Price. So she is the piano professor and the head of the department for CAU, and who received the MTNA Francis Clark Keyboard Pedagogy Award. So for her unforgettable achievements, and I'm so honored, representing my school. Okay, so here's some a photo I just making today. So the poster and the photos and and we have really fun time over there. And also, since this year, the MTA in place in the Atlanta, so that's our area. They just offer the first time ever, so offer the free registration for collegiate chapter students for all HBCUs. So they encourage us to join. Normally they charging a lot, I know, but for this year they're doing free, and I think they I told with the Nayaho, so the VP of the MTA, they're trying to keeping this promotion for HBCU as well in the future. So they encourage us to join this association. So that's the good opportunity. So yeah, Tonya Shooter. So she is the person you can contact with for the conference registrations. Okay, and so yeah, I mean this year is my third year of this institutions, and we build up the collegiate chapter. And we got so much support and financial things, and my colleague and MTNA commission, the committees, board committees support. So I'm so glad. And they would like to see our face as well. Yeah, definitely, no doubt. So today that's my topic and is related to our school. And so I won't take that much time. So I just give like a brief introduction. So for what we have, so how they related to our students, and I will pass the time to our students. So the first of all, the innovative curriculum for our CAU, so our curriculum is blended commercial composition, performances, instrument performance, and we have the new music education concentrations starting last year. So that helping us developing students not only possess the excellent with music and also the performance skills and the practical applicants learning for future. Okay, so that encourage us focus and explore areas of the entrepreneurship things. And our department offer 5 music concentration. So that list over here, so we have piano study, commercial composition, jazz study, church music, and vocal study. And all students is so active, encouraged to choose the second concentration as minor. So they always switching, 1 year to the another one. So for example, the Kennedy, so she is focused on the composition and the minor in piano. And the Cameron is the piano in major, but she's doing a lot of things with the commercial compositions. And yeah, we have many examples like that. So everyone has like the dual the concentration things. And also, everyone is required to participate in the ensemble. So we have 4 groups of ensemble things. And it's really great news. They're working on this for 10 years, what I heard. So starting in 2023, the music education bachelor degree is added to our program. So that making us the first HBCU with the music education degree in Georgia. So, and we are the only one for now. So that's this really great achievement. And that giving many benefit for pedagogical skill development and all such things. Okay. So for transformative education, for this part, we really trying to prepare our students like well-rounded professionals. So the students are capable to innovating the various careers, in the music industry. We don't want to like students only focus like a specific area. So I hope they have like a variety abilities. So it's not only for the, for those students, not only for the classical training in piano skill. That's what I grew up. So I got all the traditional music training when I was 4 years old, and I go into all the professional pre-college and college until the doctoral, only focus on the piano only, nothing else. But over here, we're trying to incorporate many things, more beyond the piano. And also, we adding we call it the Panther a studio, workstations. So that's for the composition focus. So there's many music technology in recording, composing by using like a digital audio workstation. And the internship is so various, for the film industry. I mean, that's so developed in the Atlanta with the past decade for the Kennedy involvement. And our many students perform in the NBA live support, and also the African American community, like a church and sacred music. Everyone has to play the SATB, like sacred the hymn things. So yeah, they are really trained in different the ways. And the diverse genres, so yeah, of course, we are HBCU, so everyone is required to play the black music. And we have the class, it's called, for my class, it's piano African diaspora. So we learn about like the genre we have. So what we have as unique, and African traditional. And also, as I mentioned, so we focus some like a sacred music for church, for our community, for our like own community. So yeah, so we need to heritage our tradition and the contemporary genre, and also the jazz, because my doctoral dissertation, the focus is trying to combine the jazz and the classical together. So let the classical students able to play the jazz, and let the jazz students, they never read the music, able to play the classical. So that's my focus, and that's our department focus on. So let students able to play various styles. So I think that will be all. So for my end, so let's please like hear our students' journey. So our first student is the Cameron Barnes. Okay, would you like to introduce yourself?
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Cameron Barnes. I'm a senior music major with a piano performance concentration from Chicago. I started my freshman year at CAU in 2020, the online year. I had a rough start managing my classes, but I got used to the current situation. During my matriculation here, I've expanded my repertoire with various works by Bach, Haydn, Chopin, Rachmaninoff, and even extended it further to music of the African diaspora with works by composers such as Samuel Coleridge Taylor and Florence Price, who Dr. Hu mentioned earlier. This is generally the standard piano performance curriculum at CAU, learning works by a multitude of composers out of each period from Baroque to modern day. And it's highly encouraged to learn music from the African diaspora, as well as the music of traditional composers, especially being a student at an HBCU. It's also important to have an extensive repertoire being a performer and possible future educator with my own studio or in the classroom setting. And I've had an inspiring time studying with and learning from Dr. Hu these past few years. And he cares very much about his students and their growth, and he's been an incredible addition to our music department. And he's also encouraged me to open my own piano studio, which could be a strong possibility down the road as I progress as a pianist. Also, being at CU, I've learned that it's okay to stand out. You're here for a purpose and shouldn't let anyone deter you from achieving what you're here for. It can be overwhelming sometimes, but when you really want something, you tend to set standards for yourself and people around you. There were times I wanted to, party or hang out, but I had to focus on what I'm here for. And CU will teach you how to discipline yourself and further your success, or you'll just be stuck in the same position, regretting not doing what you're supposed to do when you have the time to do it. It also teaches you patience with people, patience with yourself. Everyone doesn't move how you move, and sometimes you can move too fast for yourself. So don't do anything if you aren't ready for it, and that's for everyday life. And if you see someone doing what you want to do, don't rush trying to get to their level. Just move at your own pace. And after my freshman year, coming back to campus, my sophomore year, I learned to mesh all of this together and got me to this point now. Everything that I've experienced up until this point has made me a better overall musician. As I progress, I've grown more confident in expanding my performance settings, more than just being a solo performer. I played in bands, accompanied choirs, and currently have a weekly job playing at Elizabeth Baptist Church. In addition to this, with piano as starting out as piano as my foundation, it's heightened my abilities to the point where I've started writing my own compositions, specifically film score, like orchestral music, which that's available on YouTube under my channel, Cam T. Barnes Music, and I'll put that in the chat for you guys. And I encourage you to listen to it whenever you have the time. Also, being a film score is something I've recently discovered I want to do as a composer. It's not only to create music, but to put into something many people enjoy, myself included, which are movies. One piece in particular I wrote called Strings of 18 for a string ensemble, that's also on YouTube, was performed live by the group called the Sphinx Virtuosi. And that was a very good feeling, hearing my music played in real life for the first time. And that's something I'm aiming to experience much more in my life in the near future. Also, I just finished writing a symphony, my first one, called Exploration. And that was a lot of music to write. There were days I had no idea what to, to put down, and I kept telling myself not to force the music out, but to let it come out naturally. And that's really been my mindset for most of all of the music that I write, especially for this symphony though. And my goal for it is to be noticed and performed by ensembles from educational institutions to even professional companies like the Atlanta Symphony Orchestra. And I also have another symphony in the work as well for a string ensemble. And so basically I'm constantly coming up with music in my mind, and it'll eventually translate to paper. The ultimate goal for me is to continue this path into the music business as a performer, composer, and possible educator, and to eventually be able to travel the world and share my work and experiences with, other countries. And I believe music is universal, and we don't always have to speak the same language to enjoy the same music. Thank you.
Thank you. And the next one, let's welcome our Kennedy. So she just graduated like last year. Okay, Kennedy, your turn.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Kennedy Smith, and like Dr. Hu mentioned, I'm a recent grad. I graduated in 22, so about 2 years ago now. I was a commercial composition and piano studies double concentration, which actually was something that had never really been done before, but it was one of the most invaluable experiences I could have had coming out of Clark Atlanta University, because it offered me two very different areas of the industry, which I use still fully in my career now. It definitely diversified my skills. I don't publicly perform classical music anymore, but studying it with my professors, Dr. Hu, as well as Mr. Boozer, Professor Boozer, it gave me it allowed me to develop a personal discipline, a mental discipline that transcends a lot of different genres and career outlets. And I was able to create really healthy and effective practice techniques. And then on the commercial composition side, studying with my professor, Phil Davis, it strengthened my creativity. Commercial composition is another word for studio production. So writing, learning how to use different DAWs like Logic and different software, understanding how a studio is run, setting up patches and all these different kinds of things that we did in commercial composition, also things that I use on my day-to-day now as a professional freelance musician. One thing that I also do is I teach piano. I'm an instructor as well, and that was another skill that I was able to develop when I was at CAU, especially under the pedagogy class. Taught me how to basically teach students what different methods to use and how to approach piano as a beginner. And today I am a piano instructor for a company in Atlanta called K Piano. We do virtual piano lessons to students in schools all across the country. And those were different skills that I was able to develop when I was still at CAU. So as well as teaching class piano, I also teach, I also do private lessons. It's a different approach to the education of piano, but still the same aspects, same principles that I learned when I was at CAU. One of my most memorable and greatest achievements since I've graduated was being able to teach piano lessons to actors on set of an upcoming film called The Piano Lesson, directed by Denzel Washington. And I was on set for a few weeks at a time, showing the actors how to play their piano parts for the movie once they complete the scenes. And again, those are just all things that I was able to kind of develop as a student at Clark Atlanta University, and specifically doing the two concentrations. So all different kinds of age groups, elementary school students to professional, adult actors and actresses. Another thing that I'm really proud of, and something that I was able to develop when I was at CAU, was my first professional big gig as a keyboardist with Lil Yachty. I was able to audition for him January of 2023, and ended up actually making it into his all Black female rock band. And we toured all across the country throughout 2023. We got to do Saturday Night Live. We just performed Coachella earlier this year. We went to Europe for a month and did a whole bunch of stuff over there. So it was just really great opportunities and things that I was able to really garner and create when I was at CAU, you know, always practicing, developing my skills, but then also the music department allows for great collaboration and networking opportunities with students, and just getting your name out there really helps, especially in this industry when it's all about who you know. So I'm forever grateful to CAU for that, for that foundation. And my next entrepreneurial aspect is TV and film. I'm actually getting more into this now. My current project is a stage play that's getting ready to come out in a few months, and I'm musically directing, which means I'm putting together arrangements, putting together my band, running rehearsals, all things that I had to do essentially when I was at school. So again, just preparing me for these real life situations. And you never know when you're going to need the information that you're getting. But it was always there for me at my disposal when I was at CAU. So grateful for that. And so as I'm continuing to move forward in my career, looking for more opportunities in the TV and film world, like sync licensing opportunities, doing commercials, putting together music really for advertisements, and anything that you see on TV essentially is what I'm trying to get into. So these are all things that I feel like I can do and am prepared for because of the education and the curriculum at CAU, and especially having the 2 concentrations so that I can do so many different things at a high level. It really, really makes the difference in my career now. So thank you guys.
Thank you. Yeah, we're trying to showcase something, but the Kennedy just traveling for now, so she couldn't access the piano for now. Okay, here's some resources from our department, the catalog and the curriculum, and you are always welcome to contact me. So my email is the yhu@cau.edu. Okay, it's pretty quick, quite short. Yeah, and thanks, Dr. Rahas. Did I pronounce correct?
Yes, Rojas.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Now I want to see, let's see if we can have a Q&A. Maybe somebody has questions. I want to ask one question to you, Cameron. Can I go first?
Yes, please.
Cameron, I have a question for you. You said that you wrote a symphony.
Yes.
I mean, for how many instruments and how large was the ensemble? And then the big question, was that performed? Because the problem is to put an opera, together, or a symphony. Those are very expensive productions because of the magnitude of the ensemble. So how did you do?
So I actually used MuseScore as my notation. And it's full orchestra, woodwinds, brass, strings, percussion. And yeah, it took a few months to write. So, and I hopefully I'm aiming to get it published and actually perform live one day. So that's in progress.
Thank you.
Mm.
I can't see his name, but the man who just answered the question.
Cameron.
How do you usually start off your stories?
So really, I would come up with a theme, just starting out on the piano, and then I'll expand or repeat some themes. And it's really a lot of I think a lot of symphony writing is doubling. Like, so you have the woodwinds, the high part, and then the high strings. They would play the same thing, and then like the low brass, like the trombone, and then maybe the bass of the strings, they would play the same part. So it's really getting to know like the ins and outs of each section and how they play off each other. And so yeah, that's how I start each one.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I got really a question for just both of the students. Why was music a choice for y'all in y'all careers?
Can
Go ahead.
You got it.
Really, growing up, going to church every Sunday, I would, hear the band playing, and I told my grandma, I was like, that's something I want to do, and they just they put me in when I was like 6 years old, and it's just been my life ever since. So.
Thank you.
Yeah, I had kind of a similar situation, grew up in the church, always surrounded by music. And one thing that I can say, why was music an option for me? Because I think that's a really real situation where a lot of times you grow up in households where that's not really supported. But luckily I had extremely supportive parents that really pushed me to continue. Fun fact, I actually was a biology major for like the first 2 days of me being at Clark, hated it. And when I decided I was finally going to change my major, I had no pushback from my parents at all. They were like, we know this is what you really want to do. And so other than being surrounded by it all the time and having an internal drive to do music, it really helps to have a good support system around you too. So I think that would be the main reasons why it was an option for me.
Family, yeah.
This is a question for Miss Smith. I just looked you up. I was just like, trying to see videos and I wasn't trying to be that sounded.
No, you good. No,
All right. I hope this is not a personal question, but it's like two questions in one.
Yeah.
One, do they pay you good with all the touring and all the doing stuff for actors and stuff?
Good question.
Two, is the experience fun? Like, are these actors mean? Are the people you're touring with mean? Like, was it like a hard transition? Like you felt like you was a fish out of the water or something?
I got you. Yeah, it's honestly, you have to deal with a lot of different personalities, and being in the entertainment industry, you're dealing with a lot of creatives, which is a whole thing in and of itself. A lot of different egos. People are very sensitive, and so it's really important to know how to read rooms and just how to respond to people in the right ways, because you never know who you're going to get in any given situation. And take the tour, for example. You're on this bus, this double-decker bus, for 6 to 8 weeks, 4 weeks at a time with these people that you kind of don't really have a choice in the matter of. So it's really important to know how to get along with everybody to the best of your ability. So it was definitely, I'm pretty easygoing, so it wasn't too bad of a transition for me. I didn't feel so much like a fish out of water, but I can see how it would be rough, especially being away from home for so long. And just being in totally different environments. It's high pressure situations. So like, you got to make sure your music and you're where you need to be on time, and all of that is taken into consideration, because there's 101 people waiting for that spot. So you have to always make sure you're on, and make sure that you're professional and on time and all that kind of stuff. So that can be a little bit intimidating when you're first getting into it. But luckily, when I was at school, again, like, I had a lot of people in my ear telling me that you need to make sure you're on your stuff, because it's so competitive. So it wasn't an issue for me. But in terms of the pay, I will be 100 with you. It was pretty decent, but that's not always the case for the Lil Yachty thing. Like, because he's backed by an industry, right? So, or not an industry, a label. He's with Quality Control. So if you're with an independent artist, it might be a different situation where that money is coming from, how the whole thing is being funded. So it just really depends on who you're with and what kind of budget they have, because it ranges. You get really, really low paying gigs and really high paying gigs. So.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you. Another question?
My question is for Ms. Smith. Do you have any like EP on any like platforms or something that anybody can listen to? Or
Yeah, I do. I have a lot of music that I've recorded. It's on all streaming platforms. I can throw a link. Oh, you guys are not on the Zoom, for real. But if you look me up, my name is Kennedy Avery. That's my artist name, Kennedy Avery. So y'all can find me on Instagram, and then all my my info is on there. You can find me that way.
Appreciate it.
Mhm. And I don't know if we had any time. I was able to find the video of my piano solo from Coachella performance this year. Do we have time to see? It's like a minute long. I don't know.
Yes, we have time.
Okay. Do you mind if I share my screen?
How's the weather there, Columbia? We just like received notification, so we have already released today.
Mm.
Lucky you. It's kind of warm, and I think it's going to be raining tomorrow. There's a
Okay,
storm heading towards Florida, so
yeah,
but
I'm gonna
it's
back to the Columbia. Yeah, I'm gonna come back to the Columbia tomorrow.
okay.
Good.
Can you guys see it?
Yes,
Okay, great. Yeah.
thank you.
Thank you. Thanks.
I think that it's going to be, we have to end here, but thank you, Dr. Hu, for your,
Thank you.
for, staying, in communication with me. We'll keep it, we'll keep in touch. So
All right.
thank you and enjoy, and thank you, Cameron, and thank you, Kennedy.
Thank
I
you
met
guys so
both
much.
of you, right? Both of you were in Atlanta, and I remember that you played live in that occasion. Thank you so much for your time, and thank you for sharing,
Problem.
and we appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.